It is a privilege to be here, to be side by side with such powerful women. It is a privilege to be here amongst a crowd of powerful people who are voting yes to the voice for Parliament. Ordinarily, I've worked against a lot of these people on stage, and they against me on polling booths and in chambers. But today we're standing side by side because we know that this voice is more important. It transcends any single political ideology. In March, I was elected to Australia's oldest parliament, the New South Wales Legislative Council, its youngest ever Liberal woman. Over its 200-year history, the Legislative Council has changed in serious ways. It wasn't until 1978 that its members were actually democratically elected. And I say this to reassure you that our country's governance institutions consistently change over time to respond to its citizens' needs. And the political institutions that we have around us should be designed to serve. So we should not be afraid of change. We should use change to improve, to change the future, because we cannot change the immutable and tragic past for Indigenous Australians. This referendum, no one person owns it, but we are all responsible for it. By voting yes, we become responsible for reducing the overlapping layers of bureaucracy on bureaucracy. We become responsible for sharing power outside the traditional halls and to some of our most maligned. Because this voice is not a single voice. It is a mechanism to reveal the true and diverse voices of all Australian Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in this country. What this voice is about is responsibility. This is a voice that gives us custodianship, all of us custodianship of this land, because that is only recently the case. 235 years ago, this country changed. 122 years ago, a constitution was created to guide the new nation. 56 years ago, that constitution was changed to count Aboriginal people in it. The problems that we face, the entrenched problems that we face, they require courage to repair. I am told that this voice is the tool, a vital tool, to repair the damage that Aboriginal people have faced in this country for 235 years. I believe we have the courage to listen. I believe that we have the courage to help repair. And I thank all of the Liberals here today, because it takes courage for you to be here too. Be assured that this voice, it speaks to the best of our Liberal values, of liberty, of individual responsibility, of respect for our Constitution and strengthening it, to empower and reward an enterprising spirit. Perhaps more than any other, this referendum is about fear and freedom. On one hand, the fear of change, the fear of the unknown, and on the other, the fear that the status quo will continue to weigh too heavy on those who seek to overcome the torment of their powerlessness. Who am I to say no? Of fear and of freedom. This voice represents the freedom to speak freely and to be heard justly. The freedom to speak freely and to be heard justly. Who am I to say no? I am an Australian and I am a Liberal, and I am voting yes to the voice to Parliament. I am voting yes to direct consultation, yes to recognition, yes to the security that this voice will continue to work to empower First Australians for decades to come. Please join me in voting yes to the voice to Parliament.